It was a bright and joyful day in the small town of Cana. The streets were decorated with colorful ribbons, and the sweet smell of fresh bread and roasted lamb filled the air. People were laughing, dancing, and celebrating because today was a very special day, a wedding. Among the guests was Jesus, along with his mother, Mary, and his disciples. Everyone was enjoying the celebration, but something was about to go wrong. The wedding was going well until Mary noticed that the servants looked worried. They were whispering to each other and shaking their heads. Mary walked over and asked, "What's wrong?" One of the servants sighed. "We have run out of wine." Mary's eyes widened. Running out of wine at a wedding was a big problem. The guests would be upset, and the celebration would have to end early. She quickly turned to Jesus and whispered, "They have no more wine." Jesus looked at his mother and gently said, "Dear woman, why do you involve me? My time has not yet come." But Mary believed in her son. She told the servants, "Do whatever he tells you." The servants waited, watching Jesus closely. Jesus saw 6 large stone jars standing nearby. Each jar could hold a lot of water. He turned to the servants and said, "Fill the jars with water." The servants were confused. Water? How could that solve the problem? But they obeyed Jesus. They filled each jar to the very top. Then Jesus said, "Now take some out and give it to the master of the banquet." The servants looked at each other in surprise, but they did exactly as Jesus said. The master of the banquet, an important man at the wedding, took a sip from the cup. His eyes grew wide with amazement. He called the bridegroom and said, "Everyone brings out the best wine first, and after that, the cheaper wine. But you have saved the best wine until now." The servants gasped. The water had turned into wine, and not just any wine, it was the finest wine they had ever tasted. The people at the wedding cheered and continued celebrating, never knowing that Jesus had performed a miracle right before their eyes. This was the very first miracle that Jesus performed. His disciples saw what he had done and believed in him. Mary had faith in Jesus, and the servants obeyed his words. Because of this, something impossible had happened. This miracle was not just about wine, it was a sign that Jesus had the power of God and that he had come to bring joy, hope, and new life to the world. Just like the servants at the wedding, we should listen to Jesus and trust him. When we do, he can turn even the simplest things in our lives into something amazing.